Hey there, viewers. You're probably here because you've heard about Turkesterone, the newest supplement that's picking up all the hype in the bodybuilding community. If you're wondering why you hadn't heard about it until recently, don't worry. You're not the only one. For the uninitiated, Turkesterone is a new, suddenly popular compound that athletes are using to improve their performance, maximize their gains, and increase their strength. In this video, we'll dive into where it comes from, how to take it, what the benefits are, where you can buy Turkesterone, and finally, why it's suddenly all over your newsfeed, not to mention the main question of whether it's worth all the fuss. Let's start at the beginning, though. What exactly is Turkesterone? Turkesterone is an ectosteroid, which makes it a natural arthropod steroid, meaning it comes from plants. Specifically, the Ajuga turkestanica plant, which is found in Central Asian countries, such as Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. By nature, ectosteroids are hormonal and are mainly responsible for molting in animals, as well as development and reproduction. You could basically compare them to testosterone due to their ability to bring about growth. Unlike testosterone, though, ectosteroids don't bind to androgen receptors, and because of this, they have no steroidal side effects, such as swelling of the male breast tissue or hair loss. These side effects are common in most other steroids, and that is partly why Turkesterone is all the craze. It's also the best muscle-building steroid of all the ectosteroids. Sounds great, right? Well, yes. But it is definitely worth noting that Turkesterone is extremely new to the market, and so there is very little science to support the idea of it being the best steroid money can buy. Until more research is done, we don't know for certain what its long-lasting benefits and side effects are, so be sure to take everything you read or hear with a grain of salt. We do know a bit, though, and we'll take a look at those studies later in this video to ensure you have all the information on Turkesterone before you experiment with taking the compound. And also to answer the question, is Turkesterone a scam? For now, though, let's get into why people are taking it. Here are 3 reasons people are taking Turkesterone. Number 1. Increased muscle gains. The main reason many users turn to Turkesterone is because it is a powerful muscle-building supplement. And there really aren't that many natural supplements that can effectively build muscle. So that is what makes this ectosteroid different. The idea of Turkesterone is that it builds muscle mass by increasing muscle protein synthesis. In other words, it speeds up the metabolic process that covers amino acids into bound skeletal muscle proteins. Right now, it seems like everyone who takes it reports that they gained at least a few pounds of lean muscle, which is sort of unusual for a natural steroid. Number 2. Accelerated muscle recovery. Another reason people are taking Turkesterone is because of its ability to speed up the rate in which your muscles recover from a big workout. This is vital for multiple aspects of sporting performance, because if your muscles aren't recovering properly before your next workout, you're far more likely to tear and injure them than you are to build them. So accelerated muscle recovery is highly beneficial and definitely a big reason that people are turning to Turkesterone. Number 3. Increased strength. We mentioned this one earlier, and while you would have thought it goes without saying that if your muscles are getting bigger, you are also getting stronger, this isn't actually the case. Generally speaking, optimizing muscle size and optimizing muscle strength are 2 different things. It's pretty complicated stuff, but the main rule is that your body is full of muscles, some big and some small, and they all respond differently to different workouts. They also all need to get stronger in order to make you stronger. Otherwise, you'll just get hurt. Lifting heavier weights does make muscles grow bigger, but if you can't do lots of reps, you aren't going to be making those naturally smaller muscles any stronger with the big ones. On Turkesterone, the idea is that it helps to stimulate not only the growth of all your muscles, but also their capacity for doing more reps of heavier weights. It helps to increase lean muscle mass, and so you can expect to increase the weight of your compound lifts continuously whilst you're on the supplement. You'll still need to eat and train properly in order to progress, but you could potentially be increasing the weight of your lifts by 20 to 30 pounds. So now you know the potential reasons for taking Turkesterone. Let's talk about how to take it. Dosage. Turkesterone comes as a pill, and the appropriate and recommended dosage of it is 500 milligrams a day. This is the optimum amount, meaning any more of this won't help your gains and isn't worth it. So don't be that guy that takes too much for no reason. You'd only be wasting your money. The best way to take it is in 2 doses of 250 milligrams spread out throughout the day. It might also be a good idea to start on a lower dose of 250 milligrams once a day and increase from there depending on how your body responds to the compound. Cycle length. Most athletes who take the supplement take a cycle of 6 to 12 weeks. As we'll see in some of the studies we're going to delve into next, any less than 6 weeks and you're unlikely to see any gains at all. So if you're going to take turkesterone, be sure to at least go for 6 weeks in order to figure out if it's working for you. If it is, then you can continue up to 12, as most users claim that the longer the cycle, the more effective the steroid is. You'll definitely still need to eat and train right though. Simply taking the pill and hoping for results will not lead to anything. Judging by the general hype around the supplement, it seems like most people who are taking it are claiming it has yielded positive results. But it is important to note that scientifically, this is not proven. As promised earlier, here's a quick dive into the main studies that have been conducted on the compound to help you figure out whether the fuss is justified or not. Scientific studies and whether it's worth the hype. The first study on turkesterone was published in 1978, which is a pretty long time ago, and there weren't a huge amount done after that other than a few studies published here and there without notable results. In 2006, a group of men were divided into 3 groups. One group was given the turkesterone steroid, another was given nothing, and the third group was given a placebo that did nothing, in order to test the psychological effects and to create an outlier in the study. All the men continued to weight train at the same pace for 8 weeks, and results showed no difference between the 2 main focus groups or even the men that took the placebo. An even more recent study in 2018 was done by the International Society of Sports Nutrition, and they also concluded that all ectosteroids, including turkesterone, should not be recommended for supplementation to increase training adoptions or performance. The latest study, though, done only 1 year later, had completely different results. And that might be the reason for the newly developed hype on the steroid. This study, done in 2019, was titled Ectosteroids as Non-Conventional Anabolic Agent, Performance Enhancement by Ectosteroid Supplementation in Humans, and was conducted over a period of 10 weeks, rather than 2006's shorter study. The results showed that the men who trained using the turkesterone saw bigger muscle gains compared to those that didn't or took the placebo. However, it's not all roses and daisies here either, as natural professional bodybuilder Jeff Nippard went on record to note a few issues and warning signs on the study, such as unreliable testing machines, the method applied, and also the potential that there were false positives. In other words, it is not known for certain whether those who benefited from the supplement simply trained harder than those who didn't. Side effects. The final factor to look at before deciding whether the supplement is a good idea is the potential side effects. No one wants to risk their underlying health for the purpose of gains, and if you do, well, that's your decision. The main thing to note when it comes to side effects is, once again, we just don't know. There simply isn't enough research. We haven't seen any yet, but that does not mean we can claim it is side effect free. With that in mind, it is still good to know that no one has claimed there are any. Looking online, so far, everything is positive. It's also good to know that you won't need post-cycle therapy after taking this ectosteroid. That's because it doesn't impact hormones. Anyway, the point is, while turkesterone does seem like a good natural way to build muscle and strength, we don't know for certain whether the benefits of turkesterone are completely set in stone. And we also don't know what long-lasting side effects might come from it. The good and the bad are both up in the air. So if you want to experiment using the supplement, you'll be doing so at your own risk, as well as your own gains. Are you interested in taking turkesterone with all that we've discussed in this video? Let us know in the comments below. Here are 2 more videos you might find interesting. Feel free to choose the one you like. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos on health, subscribe to the channel.